Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the Microsoft Excel, which is the component of Microsoft Office. So if you have this application in your system, then well and good. Otherwise, you can download the whole package from Microsoft Teams interface. You just click on this option. Office 365 and its applications are given in this link. So I just clicked on it. So you will reach at the Microsoft Office home, and you can see that there are different applications of Microsoft Office, and you are familiar with some like Teams, PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. So Word is basically used for the document creation and editing. OneDrive is basically a cloud space. Outlook manages your emails. Excel is used for the data organization, summarization, and data analysis. PowerPoint is used for display of text and graphics and multimedia. OneNote is used to manage your typed notes and sync with other devices. SharePoint is used to share your documents, videos, with your colleagues and your students. If you have other members added in your team, so you can share with these items with them. So here you can install all these apps. Click on this option, then you will get this interface, and now this is asking to download this application into your system. So I already have this one into my system. So let's go on to the Excel interface. So this is my Excel application from Microsoft Office 365. For this version, you just need to sign in with your university registration account. So just sign in with your credential and you are good to go. So here we have the different option on Microsoft Excel, file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. This is the add-in I additionally installed into Excel from my research work. Enterprise, help, and search. So if you'd like to know the command, but you don't know where it is, so you just need to search here and you will get the direction. Home is basically giving you a lot more similar commands like Word, clipboard, font, alignment. So this is the number. So this is the format for cell, which kind of data is given into a particular cell. So these are the styles, how you are going to style your cells and format the table, which color you are going to use. So there are different options given over here. So if you want to insert a new cell, I have selected at B1. So if I click on this option, there will be cell added. So I think that you are not following because that was the empty cell. So now if I click on insert option, so one new cell is added into a sheet. So if I want to delete it, I just click on delete. This is the option for format. So you can decide the height and width of the cell as well. This is adjustable. Auto sum, if you have the data, you can sum that data, you can take the average, you can count the number that how many cells are filled with the data, then minimum and maximum value as well, and there are more functions. If you click on that, you will get the more functions as well. So this is the sort and filters option, and this is find and select. So there are lots of options similar to Word in home. Insert, then you can insert a pivot table, illustration, add-ins, So there are options if you'd like to add the Bing Maps. This is the search engine, and these are the charts. This is basically charts and graphs are the main focus for this lecture. And let's move on to the page layout. So it's almost similar with Word as well. So here is the formula. You can see the different options are given over here: calculations, KU2 functions, formula, helper, and number of things are given over here, data. And now I think let's move on to the file section, because if you have a newly installed version in your Excel, or you have never used data analysis option in your system, you just need to go to the option section, then add in. So I already add the analysis tool pack into the data analysis option. So when you newly install this version, let me uncheck this, then I'll tell you that how to proceed with the analysis tool pack. So let's go to the file section, click on option, and then go to add-ins. So now you can see that inactive application add-ins, click on it, go, then check this option and okay. So just you can see that in data tab, you can see the option for data analysis. So if I click on data analysis option, so you can see that here we have the correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing. So there are things you are familiar with: moving average, histogram, regression, and all. So now we will start with the histogram. So let's move on to the sheet where we have the data already inputted. So now we are going to start constructing the class boundaries. Let's start with the finding out that what is the minimum and maximum value in the array. So let's start from inserting the function of minimum value here. Then we will select minimum value. .48 is the minimum value. Then we will find out the maximum value. So I'm using the command Control Shift and down arrow for the selection of data. So these are the minimum and the maximum value of the data. So if I use the multiples of 5, we can get the data. We can construct the class boundaries easily. So I just press the enter from I just press the control key from keyboard. So then I'll drag this down and it will add a one number into the particular cell. So here it is. Then I want to put 5 here. So I just simply, without pressing any key, drag it down. So it copy the next one. So now I'm going to multiply this value with this. So this is the multiplication with E2 to F2. So I'll press enter. So 45 is the multiplication. So you can see the function here when you use formula. So if the cell contain formula, when you select that particular cell, it will show into the formula bar. Then I'll double click on it. So formula will be applied on the whole set of values. So after calculating these values, I want to name these values as bin. So now we are going to construct the histogram. So go to the data tab, click on data analysis, and now this is the histogram. Click OK. So the selection is already made. Histogram range is from this to this, A1 to 106, and then bin location is G1 to G11. And I want labels. These are the labels, bin and speed. And then I want to calculate the cumulative percentage and chart output. And then I'll click OK. Output range, you need to select the output range. Then you click on it. You want the output from output in I column. So I'm okay with that. So here is the output for given data. So you can see that frequency is also calculated. You can find out the values here, and then cumulative frequency is also calculated over here. So you can edit these text boxes. So it was speed, so I'm going to write here mile per hour. So this is the histogram display. Histogram describes a frequency distribution by using a series of rectangles, each of which has a length proportional to either the frequency or the relative frequency of the class. So this is the histogram visualization. So next we will see that how we can draw a bar chart. So let me open a new data set for the bar chart. Now we are going to use this data for the bar chart. We will select the data from A4 to C7 and click on Insert tab. Then we have a option for charts. Select bar chart. Click on this option, then 2D bar chart. And now here are the series and series 1. So I would like to enter the legend here. So I want to select the data. I want to change the series name. Click on edit. So the first series is certificate type. Okay. Second series is numbers in 1000. Okay. So, okay. And this is the number and certificate type. So I want to add the title here. So I just paste the name of these certificates. It is basically for non-creational airplane pilot certificates. So this is the visual representation of this data in bar chart. So now we are going to draw a line graph. Select the data from A4 to B9. This is the McDonald's net income year from 2003 to 2008, and net income is given over here. So we are going to start the draw a line graph. So here we have the years on x-axis and y-axis is showing the income. So let's add the different items, different options. Access title, uh, if I do not add this, it doesn't matter. So there are series 1. So what is this series for? So let me change the series name. So it's going to be McDonald's net income. So this is basically McDonald's net income. This is the historical data, so we can also draw a trend line. So here is the option for trend line. So you can see a trend line has been drawn over here. If I go for the next option, more options, so you can see that it's linear, exponential, linear forecast, 2-period moving average, and more options. So if I'm going to select this linear forecast, you can see that this line is extended from 2008 to 2010. So it's also forecasting for next 2 years. So this is the linear line I wanted here. So this is the trend line, and this is the line graph. And you can draw a line graph by using Excel. So after drawing the line graph, now we are going to use this data for drawing pie chart. Pie chart is basically is a circular display divided into sections based on either the number of observation within or relative values of a segment. So basically, the pie chart's values are given into percentages. So let's start with the selection of data. Click on A4 and drag to B7. A4 and drag to B7. So let's move on to the insert option and click on 2D graph data. So you can see that the data is shown into different segments, data labels. So you can also see the percentages into this files, and there are different options given. You can change the style, colors of this particular pictorial graph, or you can say the pie chart. And you can also do the additional editing for this purpose. You can double click into this chart and you can see there are different options given. So select the data. So here you can change the series name, add it, select this cell, and you will get the title on the right above this chart. So this is the Home Depot sale, and segments are using plumbing, electrical and kitchen, hardware sales, seasonals, and building material, lumber and millwork, paints and flooring. So if you can see that each portion have a different color, and the relevant description have a similar color to the corresponding segment. So this is the pie chart. So now we are ending our lecture here, and in next lecture we will going to see that how we will use the statistical functions like average, standard deviation, variance, and correlation and regression more importantly. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Assalamu alaikum, Allah Hafiz.